All right, guys. So we got to talk about a woke spice company that is now begging for gift card purchases in sympathy after losing customers when, for whatever reason, the CEO decided it was a good business move to send an email to their subscribers, their email list. Okay, the email list is supposed to be for business, right? On MLK weekend, basically stating that Republicans are racist, as if Republicans don't eat spices, right? Like they don't shop at places that sell spices. Okay, so obviously when you send an email like that, people are gonna be pissed, right? And apparently they lost more than 40,000 subscribers after this email. Since losing 40,000 subscribers, these people are now saying, hey, you know what? We kind of lost a lot of people from this email. Please make purchases with us. Please. Okay? And I find this situation to be quite interesting and fascinating, considering how a company just outright would make a politically charged statement like that, saying that Republicans are racist. So let's read about this. A Wisconsin-based spice company that made headlines earlier this month when a CEO sent an email to customers accusing Republicans of racism is now asking people to buy gift cards after hemorrhaging tens of thousands of customers. Earlier this month, Penzey Spice's CEO Ben Penzey renamed the extended Martin Luther King Jr. Day weekend to be, quote, Republicans are racist weekend in a newsletter to customers. In the letter, he said his aim was to anger Republicans in honor of the late civil rights icon. Okay, so I don't know what this dude is on, right? I really don't. Why in the world would you send an email with the goal of angering your customers, right? Like, why would you want to do that? What is the point of calling Republicans racist? What do you gain from that, right? Like, what do you gain from that? I really don't understand the marketing strategy here. I really don't. Because what he's saying, first of all, I don't think it is true, right? At least put it this way, as a group, right? As a whole group, I think it's wrong to just smear people as racist. Even if there are individual racists, right, in the Republican Party, that doesn't mean that the whole party's racist, okay? Now, Democrats, on the other hand, I don't know, man. With some of the stuff they be saying, you know, Democrats openly advocating to replace a Supreme Court judge with a black woman and a black woman only, saying that, hey, we're not going to consider anybody else. That is textbook racism. Also, historically speaking, the Democrats were the ones that were opposed to the civil rights movement. Okay? They're the ones that were opposed. In my opinion, I just think that this is a little bit misguided, right, to say the least. Remember how Republicans, going against a mountain of evidence to the contrary, once again lied and said BLM wasn't a peaceful movement, but instead terrorists inciting violence throughout the country, and then raced out to buy a crowd load of guns because maybe they were finally going to get a chance to shoot a black person. What a bunch of racists, the email said. Okay, so no, Republicans and people that were saying that BLM wasn't a peaceful movement are actually right. BLM is not a peaceful movement. Okay, it's not. And anybody that's pretending that it is lying to you, right? Are there some aspects of the movement that were peaceful? And yeah. And would I say that an overwhelming majority of the movement was peaceful? Maybe. But we do have a segment of that movement, along with Antifa, that caused a significant amount of damage, right? A significant amount of damage. And this happened in multiple cities throughout the country. So if you're going to sit here and say that BLM is a peaceful movement despite the damages that were caused, right? Then, hey, we can say that January 6th, that protest was peaceful, right? Despite what happened there, right? And that those people aren't domestic terrorists. If you want to say that BLM aren't domestic terrorists, right? So if you want to go by that definition and say that, okay, great. Even though I would say that BLM caused a lot more damage to this country than anything that happened on January 6th. But again, if you want to say that BLM is a peaceful movement, despite the violence that we saw that associated with this movement during 2020, okay, fine. But if you want to say that, then you have to say what happened on January 6th was peaceful. Okay? You can't have it both ways. And just to be clear here, I want to say any type of political violence is unacceptable, right? I do not endorse any political violence. I'm just sitting here saying that you got to call a spade a spade. Okay? Let's not act like BLM was 100% peaceful. That's all I'm saying, because they weren't. And that's the problem with a lot of the mainstream liberal media, is that they want to trick people into believing that, oh, there's no violence associated with that movement. There's no extremists on the left. There's no extremists in the Democrat Party, when there are clearly extremists there. Penzey also claimed that the Republican Party does everything it can to make it harder for black people to vote. Again, I don't know, man. If you are talking about vote ID, most black people agree with vote ID. So if you want to say that, then you also have to say that, well, black people want to make it harder for other black folks to vote, right? And then once you start making that argument, you start to sound like an idiot, right? Since sending his controversial email, Penzey sent out another missive Friday asking for gift card purchases and admitting that his company had since lost 400,000 subscribers, which is approximately 3% of their base, according to 1130 WISN. Okay, so they lost about 3% of their base. Now, here's the thing. If any of you guys know anything about email marketing, a majority of the subscribers on people's emails are not active, okay? So 3% is actually kind of a big deal, right? And that's why they're sending out gift card purchases, because those people that actively open that email and unsubscribe from it, that means that they were active, right? That means that they were routinely opening emails because they saw that email, they opened it and they said, oh, I don't like this, I'm going to unsubscribe, which probably is a significant portion of that active subscribers. So that doesn't seem like a big number at first, but if you understand email marketing, then that actually is kind of a big deal, because those are 40,000 active customers, right, that they're losing, potentially. After starting the year with all Republicans are Republicans and following up with Republicans are racist, we've set a little boycott Penzey, surge in motion, Penzey wrote. It certainly wasn't unexpected, but if it's within your means, you picking up a small stack of gift cards would help. Okay, so they're trying to say, oh, well, we're being canceled. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Attacking your customers and your customers saying that I don't want to shop with you is not being canceled, right? You're not being canceled. Okay, and this boycott is justified because, again, you're attacking your customers, saying that their political views make them racist. Okay, which is objectively not true. So of course they're gonna try to grift off this and ask people to, hey, send us some money, right? Send us some money. Despite the fact that his politically charged email reportedly brought in 30,000 new subscribers, Penzey conceded that we're still down about 10,000. Please help. So allegedly. This email bought in 30,000 subscribers. Now, here's the question. Are those people buying from the company simply because they said Republicans are racist? And if so, then you can't expect those people to be lifelong customers, because they're not buying your product because of the product quality. They're simply buying it because of your political messaging. So again, those 40,000 subscribers that you lost that were probably already on your email list, those people are going to cost you a lot more than what you're going to gain from these 30,000 new woke subscribers who probably can't afford to buy a lot of this stuff. So, hey, again, this, in my opinion, is kind of why it makes sense that they're asking for help, because they probably lost some paying customers. Quote, if you can't even begin to fathom how to compromise with January 6th or the Republican vaccine laws needlessly killing 10,000 Americans every week, if you have no desire to become halfway racist, and if their intent to destroy our climate for 1,000 years to come doesn't have you asking, what if we destroy it for 500 years instead, we would be better off with you on this voice of cooking email list, he wrote. Penzey Spices did not immediately respond to a request for a comment. Yeah, so I don't know what this guy's thinking, right? But all I know is that this is a perfect example of go woke, go broke, right? Or get woke, get broke, right? Whatever you want to call it. Because this guy turned off a lot of his customers, right? Just openly attacked him as racist for no reason, with no real evidence. And then lost 40,000 subscribers. Subscribers that were probably active paying customers, right? And replace them with woke revolutionaries who probably won't be active paying customers. Okay? So, in my opinion, I think in the long term, this guy is going to regret doing this. But hey, wokeness makes people do crazy things, even if it is not aligned in a business best interest. It's crazy stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.